Hello, my name is Dawn Morningstar, and I'm talking here today to talk about the effects of smoking and what I advocate for this problem. In this day and age, we all know the risk of smoking, but yet it is still a problem today. Tobacco use is a worldwide plague amongst youngsters. Likewise, with grown-ups, it represents a genuine well-being risk to youth and youthful grown-ups in the United States, and has huge ramifications for this present country's open and monetary well-being later on. The effects of smoking and other tobacco use on ceaseless sickness, which represents 75% of American spending on human services, is very much archived and verified, despite the fact that advancements have been made since the Surgeon General's report on smoking and well-being in 1964. About 1 in every 4 secondary school seniors is a present smoker. Most youthful smokers get to be grown-up smokers. A great portion of smokers bite the dust rationally from tobacco-related infections. In spite of a great many projects to decrease youth smoking and countless media stories on the threats of tobacco use, a great many generations keep on utilizing these dangerous items, and family after family deals with the anguishing outcome. However, the hardy science exists on social, natural, and ecological elements that impact youngsters to utilize tobacco, that have demonstrated powerful effects at lessening both start and commonness of tobacco use among youngsters. Those are definitely the issues inspected in this policy, which means to bolster the utilization of this hardy science base. Almost all tobacco use starts in youth and puberty. Taking in all things together, 88% of adult smokers who smoke day by day report that they began smoking by the age of 18. This is a period in life of awesome powerlessness to social impacts, for example, those offered through the promoting of tobacco items and the demonstration of smoking by alluring good examples, as in films, which have particularly social impacts on the youth. In addition, in a period in life of increased acceptability to standardizing the impacts, as tobacco use is less enduring in broad daylight regions, and there are less social or customary clients of tobacco, use diminishes amongst youth. Thus, as we grown-ups quit, we secure our youngsters. Cigarettes are the main lawful buyer items on the planet that make one portion of their long-haul clients bite the dust rashly. As this scourge keeps on incurring significant injury in the United States, it is likewise expanding in low and central salary nations that are slightless ready to bear the cost of the subsequent well-being and financial results. It is past time to end this pandemic. To do as such, essential anticipation is required, for which our attention must be on youth and youthful grown-ups. As noted in this report, we now have an arrangement of demonstrated devices and approaches that can definitely bring down youth start and utilization of tobacco items. Completely focusing on utilizing these instruments and executing these strategies reliably and forcefully is the most straightforward and powerful way to making future eras sans tobacco. The public health policy I propose targets the manufacturers, retailers, and users mainly. The policy will ensure that already users of tobacco do not smoke in public places. By ensuring that users do not smoke in public, we reduce the cases of passive smokers. Despite not smoking, practically many people in the United States of America are smokers. This is because most tobacco users smoke in public, and members of the public breathe the same concentrated air with tobacco, making them passive smokers. The issue of public smoking has put many of risk of disease such as cancer and lung disease. The policy will ensure that tobacco users will use smoking zones whenever in public places, like towns, and anywhere that will be caught smoking in public will be heavily punished by the law. Manufacturers of tobacco are significantly targeted by the policy. Tobacco manufacturers have played a major role in misleading the public in a great way. Some of the manufacturers in the U.S. have made the public to believe that there is light tobacco that has less effects on consumption. The manufacturers have then gone ahead to manufacture the light brands of tobacco. Many citizens have been trapped by this and led to the increased users of tobacco in the country. Manufacturers also use different ways to advertise their product. Some of the ways that manufacturers use are not acceptable because they are leading to the increased use of tobacco. Advertisements of tobacco through films is strongly opposed in my proposed policy. It is through the use of tobacco in films that many youths are finding the use of tobacco as something to be proud of, leading to the increased number of users among the youth. The policy places heavy fines on manufacturers who use film as a way of advertising their product. The policy also punishes filmmakers who agree to advertise the use of tobacco in their films one way or another. Additionally, the policy requires that manufacturers display information about tobacco and its emissions on the tobacco packets. By displaying the harmful effects of tobacco on the packets, all of the users of tobacco smoke it is on their own risk. No one can claim not to have known its effects, yet it is publicly displayed for all to see. The policy seeks to increase tax rates on tobacco so as to increase their prices and reduce affordability. Retailers are also targeted by the policy. The policy ensures that retailers do not sell tobacco to people below 18 years. Anyone caught selling tobacco to underage persons is punishable by the law. Retailers should also not display tobacco or its related products. Through display, people buying other products may see it and get tempted to buy it. Display is a form of advertising, and any form of tobacco advertising is prohibited in this policy. Through these restrictions to the manufacturers and retailers, the number of tobacco use is greatly reduced. This means that the effects of tobacco, such as health problems like cancer, are reduced in a large way. Impacts of the proposed policy. My proposed policy on tobacco control has its costs and benefits. The proposed policy will result in the loss of jobs in the tobacco industries. When tobacco use goes down, manufacture of tobacco also goes down. The reduction in the amount of production results in layoff of some of the workers to reduce the production costs. The layoff of some of the workers will result in increased unemployment and low economic standards. The government is also affected in a great way. Through a reduction in the number of users of tobacco, the taxes paid by tobacco industries reduces. Once there's a reduction in the number or amount of taxes, the level of economic development in the country will go down. Besides the negative effects comes the positive effects of my proposed policy. There will be reduced cases of cancer as a result of reduced active and passive smokers. With reduced active smokers, there's also reduced passive smokers, leading to less numbers of health issues resulting from tobacco use. There is also reduced cases of child mortality resulting from tobacco-related problems. With low child mortality, the future of the nation is bright, since the children will become of great influence in the future. If this policy is not enacted, our citizens will continue losing lives due to health problems that are related to tobacco, such as lung cancer. If the country loses people that are of great value, then the economic levels of the country will be at stake anyways. Children who are the future leaders will die due to passive smoking, and the country will have no future. The policy should be enacted to also change the lives of those that have already been affected by the health issues. Anyone who has been affected by tobacco-related health issues wishes that no one else get affected in the same way. If the government applies this policy, then these people will be happy to see that people are getting protected from these health issues affecting them. The use of this policy also protects people that have been affected by tobacco-related problems in that they are not at risk of getting worse whenever they are in public because public smoking has been controlled. This policy is here to help the country and the legislators at launch. This policy is applying taxation on tobacco users and using the revenue to promote development of the country. I don't think that any legislator would oppose such a policy if their number one goal is to provide development to the people they serve. The good thing about the high taxes in this case is that the high taxes are placed on a harmful substance and the revenue used to develop the community. In these cases, even the legislators that are against high taxes ought to support the policy because it is all for the good of the society and no one is getting oppressed. This policy is to ensure that our children do not die young due to passive smoking. This policy also seeks to reduce the harmful effects of tobacco, such as lung cancer. The cost of not applying this policy are more than the benefits. Thus, everyone should support the policy. Some jobs may be lost if the policy is applied, but if it is not applied, some lives will be lost. What matters the most? The jobs or the lives of your people? The policy I'm proposing is to save the lives of our people. Thank you.